Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and to our coffee times together. So Netflix is back at it. We just got a couple of movie releases there that are horror, so I have been checking them out and I'm here to talk to you about the one that I thought was the worst to the one that I thought it was the best. So let's start.
It's coffee time.
So in this video, I'm going to be shortly reviewing for you two of the newest horror Netflix releases. I'm going to start with the one that I disliked the most because, you know, I always want to end up in a positive note, so we're going to end up with the one that I really truly enjoyed. So first, we're going to talk about Mark of the Devil. La Marca del Diablo, that's the original title. This is a Mexican new release and this movie is all about possession, and it even has a couple of H.P. Lovecraft attempts, let's put it that way. And the movie actually did not start that bad. The movie did start with a quote from H.P. Lovecraft, and we move to the first scene, which is the exorcism of a very small kid, and it was actually pretty good staged and I really enjoyed that first scene. And let's just say that the exorcism goes a little bit south and it does not end as you would wish it to. We jump forward after this event a couple of years and we find this woman that is working in some kind of archive, and they suddenly got sent the super ancient, super weird book that seems to be in another language. And it looks very suspiciously like the Necronomicon from H.P. Lovecraft, which is the Book of the Dead. And guess what? The mother, you know, is allowed to take this home. Because, you know, when you get these ancient books about rituals written in Latin and other languages, of course you can take it home. It's perfectly fine. So she takes this home and she puts it in a locker, but the daughter obviously knows what it is. So what happens? You guessed it. The daughter goes, opens the locker to get the book, and with a couple of other teenagers, they decide to read it because it's fun. And obviously after they read the book, they one of them, the daughter of the woman that worked in this archive, she gets possessed by an evil force. The movie is sadly full of cliches and tropes, and they tried so hard with the special effects. I think they have tried every little cringy moment, like, you know, you see the book, boom, the cover closes, oh my god, like all of these super cliche moments that I was like, can we not please? Also, when it comes to the editing, sadly this movie could not point. The scenes are very roughly cut and a lot of them end in basically fade to black, and I was like, if I see another scene that fades to black, I'm just gonna lose it. And you know, I had hopes for this movie. I was hoping for a good Mexican possession story. Even the priest, I know him from my childhood because he's a Spanish actor, so I've known him for years and he's not a bad actor. But all in all, the performances in this movie were basically lacking. They were all very, very weak performances and the characters were so not believable. It was just a mess. My personal opinion is that they had this big idea. They wanted to do so many things and go so many ways with the characters, so many different characters with different backstories that we really didn't get much to know of because there was just no time. And I think they were just biting more than they can chew, and everything just got like a big pile of messiness and they were not able to fix it. So there you have it, and I gave this one a rating of 1 star on Letterboxd. I just, no, like I get the idea of what they were going for, but I think they were adding way too many elements and it just got too messy and complicated. And from a movie that tried to do way too much and failed, we're moving to my favorite, and that is a movie that actually with very little accomplished a lot. And that movie, my friends, is The Platform. I gave this one 4 stars. spoiler alert, because I really enjoyed it. The original Spanish title is El Hoyo. I did watch this movie in Spanish, obviously, because that's my mother language. And I do believe that everybody should watch this in Spanish with subtitles, because I thought one of the best things about this movie is actually the characters. This is a science fiction horror thriller, and we find ourselves in a not so distant future in which prisons are very different. We find ourselves in a sort of vertical tower, and there are many floors. Each floor has 2 inmates, and the very bottom of it, it's called the pit. And basically the challenge in this jail is that you only get food once a day, but the food starts from floor 1 and it starts to descend in a platform until the very last floor, which means the greedy people from the upper floors start eating everything up, so when it gets to the bottom, there is no food left for the ones in the pit. So at the very beginning of the movie, we get to know the rules that are in this jail. We get introduced to the very first 2 inmates that are sharing the same floor, the same space. There are, like I mentioned, 2 inmates per floor, and basically they explain the dynamics of this prison and how it works, and you can already foreshadow things that are gonna happen, the horrors that they're gonna experience in this jail. From these 2 first inmates is one of my favorite ones. The old man that we get to know in the beginning is one of my favorite characters. I have not seen such a charismatic character like that in a long time in a horror movie. I really enjoyed him. And this movie is, as it mentions at the very beginning, kind of explaining the difference in classes in society. They say there's only 3 types of people: the people that are on top, the people that are on the bottom, and the people that fall. There's nothing in between. And this is such a good critique at our society and our classing system, and how people that have everything but had nothing before, they don't share with those people, even though they should remember how it was having nothing. I don't know, it's like a whole kind of psychological spiel that we get in this movie, and it's really cool. All the characters are really different, they're really unique, and it is awesome to see them interact, see the decisions that they're making, and sometimes they have to make decisions in a rush. This movie kind of reminds me, and I believe it will remind a lot of people, to Cube. So if you like the Cube franchise, you will definitely love this movie. Cube, if you don't know, it's a movie where a couple of strangers are put in this labyrinth and they have to work together to get out of there alive. So that's what is similar about the Cube, and also the atmosphere and color of the movie, especially with the first Cube and the third movie that was the prequel from the Cube, Cube 3. They had so much atmosphere with the color palette and everything, and this movie achieves the same, and it's just so amazing. But however, I need to put a disclaimer for people that don't like movies that are very gory and disturbing, because this one is. So depending on, you know, what you like. But I really loved the freshness of this movie. It was sometimes at moments kind of uncomfortable to watch, because you would put yourself in these people's position. It is a bit more realistic than the Cube, because what if, you know, in X years we do have jails like this, you know? It just feels more close to home. And also we're seeing the situation right now outside. People are hoarding like crazy, and they don't care if you go after them and there is nothing left for you in the supermarkets. So it is kind of scary to see that this topic from the movie is actually something that is kind of happening right now. I don't know, it was just a great movie in general. I gave it a full 4 stars. I didn't give it 5 because I think I would have wished a little bit more kind of final push at the end that I didn't get, but it is an amazing watch. So these were my bottom and top new horror movies from Netflix. Let me know down below, have you watched these movies, and also which is your favorite horror movie that Netflix has currently available where you live. And if you have not watched Mark of the Devil, just thank me and just move on with your life, because that was just a waste of time. So I did it for you guys. I took one for the team. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a big thumbs up. If you want to follow me in all other social media, the links are down below in the description. And I hope to see you all in the next copy time. Bye!